Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
You arrive to Shul late, in middle of Pesukei Dezimra, or at the end of Pesukei Dezimra. Should you skip part or all of Pesukei Dezimra and start from Birches Kriya Shema for the sake of being able to Daven Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan? Or should you start from the beginning, daven on your own pace, and end up getting to Shemoneh Esrei, maybe even when the Minyan has left Shul, but certainly after they're done Shemoneh Esrei? So this question is a deliberation that many have to deal with when they come to Shul late, not on time. And the question is, what's more important, what's better? To daven Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan, or to recite every part of davening? On the one hand, the whole purpose of davening with the Minyan is for Shemoneh Esrei, to ask your request from God together in unison. On the other hand, Chazal instituted the recital of Pesukei Dezimra. How can you go ahead and skip it? So we'll now delve into the rulings in Halacha and in Kabbalah regarding this question. People coming late to Minyan is not a new occurrence of the 21st century. It has occurred, it's a minhag Yisrael that has occurred for hundreds of years, going back to the times of the Goinim. And they already discussed this paradox of what one should do. And it's recorded in the Rishonim, Rabbeinu Yoina, in the Torah in the name of Rav Naturai Goin, in the Rosh in the name of Rav Amram Goin, in the Smag, the Aruch, Hagos Maimonides, the Rashba, that if one comes late to Shul, he has to skip Pesukei Dezimra, either partially or entirely, depending on how much time he has, in order so he daven Shemoneh Esrei in unison with the congregation. And so is recorded the halacha in the Torah and Shulchanaruch chapter 52 halacha 1, and in the Alter Rebbe Shulchanaruch halacha 52 halacha 1, that one is to skip. What's the reason why? As although there's no argument of the importance of Pesukei Dezimra, the entire reason that Pesukei Dezimra was instituted was for the sake of Shemoneh Esrei, that one first organize God's praise and then come to ask for things. In other words, the whole point of Pesukei Dezimra is for the sake of Shemoneh Esrei. And since Shemoneh Esrei is better accepted when you daven with the Minyan, as the pasuk says, Hein kel kabel yimos, and Padav v'dal shalom nafshi mikrov li. Kivirabim hayu imadi, that when you daven with the Minyan, your prayers, your requests are more accepted. So it's better to skip Pesukei Dezimra, which is only a preparation for the requests, and daven with the Minyan and to say Pesukei Dezimra, but lose that greatness of requests you're able to get when you daven with the Minyan. This is the reason the Alter Rebbe records of why we rule, according to halacha, better skip Pesukei Dezimra than to say it, but to miss davening Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan. Nonetheless, as the Alter Rebbe concludes in Halacha 2 in chapter 52, this doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all and a person can come to Shul late and say, I can just skip Pesukei Dezimra. This is only after the fact. However, initially everyone agrees a person must respect the takana of the Goinim, Rishonim, and Achodim to recite Pesukei Dezimra and come to Shul with enough time to say it and daven with the Minyan. And heaven forbid to belittle this matter. This is all according to Halacha. Now we start getting into Kabbalah. The Magid Mesharim, which was written by Rabbi Yosef Karo, the author of the Shulchan Aruch, in there he jotted down his teachings that were taught to him personally by his angelic teacher called the Magid. In Pashas Bahar he writes that the Magid told him, the order of the prayer, which includes Pesukei Dezimra, is like a pipeline channeling divinity into the worlds. And one who skips parts of davenings, such as skipping Pesukei Dezimra, he messes up the pipeline, he messes up the channel of Elikus, of godliness. Mehapech hatzinoris is the lashon there. And therefore he warned the Beis Yosef and others, make sure you come to Shul on time to daven Pesukei Dezimra and Shemoneh Esrei, etc., and not to skip any part of it. And this teaching of the Magid is recorded in many poskim, in the El Yerabah, Seilas Blula, Ber Heitiv, Shaarei Tshuva, the Mishnah Brura, the Kaf HaChaim, and others. Now, some of the above-mentioned poskim who quote the Magid Mesharim leave it at that, but others add a little twist to it. As you see, there's no novelty in the Magid's words if it simply is saying, come to Shul on time so you can say Pesukei Dezimra. We all know that already. We already mentioned the takana of the Goinim, Rishonim, and Achreinim. So of course everyone knows and agrees you have to come to Shul on time, and it's only b'di'evet that you can skip if you miss the Minyan. If you will miss the Minyan if you don't skip. So then what is the novelty of the words of the Magid Mesharim? So a number of Pesukei Achreinim learn that the novelty is that even if you came late to Shul, and if you don't skip Pesukei Dezimra, it'll end up you'll miss Davening Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan. Don't skip. Daven your own pace. Daven Pesukei Dezimra. When you get to Shemoneh Esrei, you get to it. So is the ruling of Pesach Hadvir in chapter 52, born on the Kaf HaChaim, Yosef Eimet, Shalmei Tzibur, Minchas Aaron, the Ben Yishchain, Rav Poalim, and Ben Yehoyada, Yaskilavdi 1-2, or Letzion in volume 2, Tshuva 7, and other Pesachim, and practically many of the Achreinim record a Minhag Yisrael of Anshe Maisa, that if they come late to Shul, they never skip Pesukei Dezimra, and they read everything in order, even though they'll miss Davening Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan. So records the Ber Heitiv, the Mishnah Brura, the Soilus Blula, so we witness many Gdei Yisrael, Yefei Lulev, the Kaf HaChaim, the Ktseisa Shulchan, and others. And so is practically the Chabad custom, as recorded in a number of sources in the Rebbe's writings, both in Sichas and in letters, that our custom, based on the ruling of the Rebbeim, is not to skip any part of davening for the sake of making it with the Minyan for Shemoneh Esrei. Now, does everyone agree with this approach? No. There are some Pesachim, such as the Chacham Tzvi and others, who negate this understanding and rule that even according to Kabbalah, to the Magid Mesharim, it's still better to skip Pesukei Dezimra so you could daven Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan. And it's just that, be very careful to come on time so you don't have to skip. Bottom line, each community is to follow their Rav and their custom. Those who are accustomed to skip have upon whom to rely, and those who are accustomed not to skip certainly also have upon whom to rely. Now, regarding if one may say Pesukei Dezimra quickly in order to daven Shemoneh Esrei with the Minyan, here it's a little different. The Pesachim rule that it's better to skip than to say Pesukei Dezimra quickly. Even someone who says, I'm always careful not to skip, so I'll make sure to daven quickly, since it's better for them to skip, they shouldn't daven quickly, they should daven their pace, even if it means missing the Minyan. Now, regarding one who davens on time, comes to Shul on time, but he davens at a much slower pace than the Minyan. In this case, the Shari Tshuva and other Pesachim rule that everyone agrees, even the Shulchanaruchharav in such a case, you have no obligation to skip Pesukei Dezimra when you did nothing wrong, you came on time. In this case, you come to Shul, start with the Minyan, and daven your pace, and if you miss them, you miss them. Your Kaddish, your Kedusha, Yansa Baruch, etc.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halachic Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many Sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.